Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Whoa. I slept pretty good last night. How about you? I'm still kind of waking up. All right. Well, I'm pleased to report that I'm able to pretty much walk normally again and all that kind of stuff. I've still got some limitations, but I'm functional enough to. I'm feeling good enough to get back on the horse with regard to preparing for the combat role videos. So, next on the block is gonna be the submachine guns. I know plenty of the viewers are interested in the SMGs next. Let's see. So far, I've covered assault rifles. I've done marksman rifles. I did shotguns. I think I included explosive in the marksman rifle category for the most part, or at least touched on them. I don't know if I did. I don't think I fully broke them down. And then energy based, a couple of these overlapped with some of the other categories. And then I think I included the JAR 5 with the marksman rifle category a little bit. So we're getting through them. Energy based, explosive, and special are all their own kind of unique blend. How's it going there, Oblivious Naga? How you doing this morning? There we go. So anyway, yeah. Feeling a bit better now finally, so we're going to get on the SMG train. Doing all right? Good to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, man, thank you. It's it's just one of those things. It's just I've just got some chronic health issues, and sometimes they just flare up, and just it's annoying. I mean, it's part of the reason why I decided to give YouTube a try, because if I'm messed up for a few weeks at a time, well, YouTube doesn't care, but a regular job does. Yeah, the joys of living. Just injuries, man. Injuries and illness. They make things pretty tough. But you got to roll with the punches, right? Anyway, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to start with the SMG-37, since that's the one that comes with the base game. And then I'll probably just go down the list from top to bottom, just to keep it simple. Most of these, I've only got 3 that I haven't fully leveled up. But, it's more of a personal preference thing than anything. But one of the things that's nice about doing this kind of testing is I get even more familiar with stuff when I really focus onto it. And then I can bring that to you guys. So, research lab report style, right? All right. Well, let's see. We got the SMG-37 Defender. First one in the game. Light pen, one-handed. 110 damage a shot. 45 capacity, 9 recoil, fire rate 520. And it's described as a high caliber SMG, which can be fired with one hand and a relatively low rate of fire. One thing I'm not sure about is if rate of fire, whenever they make these descriptions, like how much Arrowhead wants it to be relative to the category itself, or relative to like all automatic weapons or all primary weapons or something like that. I mean, just looking at how things have rolled out, right? Whenever this released with the game, this is the first one we had. And the only other one that came out at the time was the MP98 Knight SMG, which was back then part of the Super Citizen upgrade. Defender's been your personal favorite from the beginning. Yeah, it feels really good, dude. One of the things I really like about it is, and you might already know this because you've been around a while here. so far, it's the one that you can customize to behave and look the most like the Matilda, the fully upgraded Matilda pistol for Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 2. And so whenever I do my my mindless masses, like fun runs, like that's the one that I like to bring. But anyway, like I was saying, in terms of fire rate, the only other one that we had when the game launched was the M98, MP98 Knight, which still comes with the Super Citizen upgrade. So, compared to that, the Defender is definitely relatively low. And I think that the fire rate for the Defender is kind of like the low side of the middle of the road for SMGs overall. So I think 1380 is the fastest we've got. And what's the slowest? 420, 475, 490. Yeah, so 420. So if we kind of split the difference, right? Yeah, the steady fire rate that gives it a low recoil for running and gunning. Yeah, it's really nice for that, dude. I agree. It feels super good. I like the way it sounds too. Like it's a solid, like all-arounder, right? So let's see. So the highest fire rate we have is basically, let's say 1400. And then the lowest fire rate we have is 420 so far. So, I mean, that's like almost 1,000 difference. So yeah, that makes sense. So middle of the pack would be right about 700, I guess. I guess strictly speaking, it would be like, what? Like 680 or something like that. 690 maybe, I forget. I don't know. It's too early for that kind of math in the head. But if we just say roughly 700, then it makes sense why the Defender says it's got a relatively low fire rate, because it is below like the exact middle ground that we have. The median, I believe. Mean, median, mode. Yeah. So that's kind of cool to think about. So that would mean like it's only a little bit below it. Let's see, the next one we have, okay, so we have the Style 11 SMG is above the middle fire rate. The Halo SMG is a little bit above it as well. And of course, the Gallant is at the top end. How you doing there, Ahmed? Having a good morning, I hope. So yeah, so our floor is 420 and our ceiling is 1,380 so far. So that's cool. That kind of tells us a little bit about the range. And then of course, overall handling, which we'll see this play out in more field testing once I get going here. We have the shot patterns that we can see like in the recoil sim there, right? And we can adjust that based on attachments to some extent, tighten it up or whatever. But it's always important to remember that the overall, like, how it feels to shoot a gun and its shot pattern, how easily you can control it, is a function. Like it depends on the recoil and the sway and the fire rate. It's not just any one of those things. It's not just recoil. It's not just fire rate. And so I think a lot of folks tend to forget that little detail. Some of the stuff's, some stuff is not as easy to see, obviously. What's my favorite war bond? That's a good question, man. Let me think about that for a second. There's so many good choices at this point, We'll exclude the war bond that comes with the base game, right? Since that's part of the base game, I guess. Which war bond is my favorite? Let me look through my primary weapons here and see. It's a hard question because there's so many weapons that are, that I like a lot that are in different categories. Like I really like the M90A Halo shotgun, for example. I do really like the accelerator rifle. The cookout's really good as well. Generally speaking, I'm not as much of an SMG fan, except in like specific circumstances. Like they're very much like a closer range gun. Like they're very good, but usually I don't engage with them as much. The hyena was free, so we don't have to worry about that. I am generally a fan of the assault rifles. Yeah, Servants of Freedom. Servants of Freedom and the Police War Bond, eh? Well, let's see. So the Halo shotgun came in the ODST one. I do like the vibe and the looks in this one. The main thing that I like out of this war bond the most, though, is the shotgun. I like that shotgun. I think it feels pretty good to me. But probably not my favorite war bond because it's just the one. Let's see. You said Servants of Freedom, and then Naga said the Force of Law. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the armor definitely... Well, as I was talking earlier about my my Leon Kennedy stuff, I like it for that purpose as well. And honestly, the pacifier is really good with that stun capability. Like, it's a good, meaningful difference between that and the pummeler, because those both stun in about the same amount of time as well. So it comes down to their armor penetration and like one-handed versus two-handed and effective distance and everything. Yeah, I can see why you would like that one. And it also has the Urchin Grenade, which can stun Bile Titans even. Let's see, and you said Servants of Freedom, right? What is it you like about the Servants of Freedom, Ahmed? Let's see, we got the double-edged sickle, we got the integrated explosives when you die. The ultimatum, of course, is a big community favorite, understandable. The secret grenades are pretty fun, and of course the portable hell bomb. Okay, I'm picking up on what you're putting down, I think. Polar Patriots. Polar Patriots is kind of nice because it has the verdict pistol and then the tenderizer, which is kind of like a pseudo battle rifle from the Halo games too, so that one feels pretty good. And it has the pummeler in there as well, and there's a lot of nice utility in there. You get the purifier as well. Steeled Veterans, though, gets the Senator. The Senator is probably one of my most used secondary weapons for sure. So that's a strong contender. Let's see. Thematically, I think Steeled Veterans is hilarious because, like, have you ever noticed the heavy armor version here with the servo assisted? It's just missing one limb, so it's missing its right arm. Yeah. Got replaced by a robot arm. But when you look at the medium armor versions, they're missing 2 limbs because they have less armor rating, right? So whenever they got blown up, they lost 2 legs. The heavy guy only lost 1 limb. I think that's that's so funny to me. Oh gosh. And honestly, the Liberator Concussive with it has such high stagger force. Yeah, you get it, man. Like this is really good for crowd controlling enemies, and then you can have the Senator for putting down mediums and heavies. So, you know, Steel Veterans is a pretty good choice. It gives you a lot of good, like sort of standard utility. You get your first heavy penetration secondary. You get a really strong crowd controlling primary. And then you also get the incendiary grenade, and you have the option for the breaker incendiary. And then the Jar 5, which punches super hard as well. So, I don't know. I might. There's so many good things spread out across the war bonds. It's honestly kind of hard to say. I think Steeled Veterans might be my favorite for sure in terms of like just the humor. And maybe that's because I'm also a veteran. So it's like extra funny to me, you know? But I really like the Senator. The Senator is such a good looking and good feeling secondary. That might take the cake for me between that and just kind of like the overall humor. But there's so many good things across the different. I mean, the dagger is really nice for chaff killing and stuff like that too. Nothing beats a big boom. Yeah, that's true. Big booms are real nice, dude. Can't argue with that. The Punisher Plasma is really satisfying and really strong. Crowd control plus crowd killing. Ugh. Yeah, man. Democratic Detonation is another one a lot of people like for the exploding weapons, you know. Yeah, it's a tough call. I think maybe for ones that offer, yeah, for like primaries and secondary options that like the game offers to you, I think I kind of like Steeled Veterans because it introduces, it's the first one that introduces, you know, heavy penetration, like I said, in the secondary, and then it has a really strong crowd control option as a primary, and then you also get the incendiary grenade and the breaker with its fire damage, and then oh yeah, and flexible reinforcement budget, right? That goes along with, this is more of the satire. Like I don't really ever use this one, but in my head it's like, okay, so it's flexible reinforcement budget. It says it reinforces time until new reinforcements are granted once you run out of reinforcement options. And so the fact that this is Steeled Veterans, I think that the whole like humor is that they're not even bothering to train fresh recruits. Like if you're using this, you're not getting new fresh recruits. You're getting veterans that have been blown up and they had robot arms stuck back on them. That's why it doesn't take as long to get a new reinforcement. And I just think that's so freaking funny. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for stopping by, Ahmed. Alrighty. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, gosh. Some of the humor in this game really just cracks me up, man. I love it. Alright, so I got the Defender. I'm going to start, I guess, on the bug front. So I got to get up to D4, make sure I'm on anybody. Okay. Let's get a nice, pretty neutral planet.
You must drive the Terminids back from this world. Choose an operation and strike.
All right, drop in here. Bring my Let's see. I'm gonna bring the ballistic shield, I think. Bug and illuminate are the best fronts for the defender. All right. I can see that. What when you bring it on the different factions, how do you tend to use it? You know, strengths and weaknesses. Why and what do you think makes it weaker against the bots in particular, if you don't mind, for science and all that? I'll bring that, and I'll bring this. I can bring one of these deals. I'll bring stun rounds, I think, to make this a little easier to do some testing. Because against chaff, for sure, on the Terminids, I can see it, because you can keep jogging when necessary and turn and shoot and all that. Bug front fits the run and gun, and the reload time is quick. Able to shoot limbs and get in a reload dance, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That seems smart. Oh boy, the Seeper in the area, they're gonna mess up my testing. I can already feel it. Let's go this way. Alright, as expected there. These things die real quick. They only got like 40 or maybe 60 HP or something, I think. Three shots to the head. It seems. Oh, I think I hear stalkers. Alright, so that's like maybe half a mag for that deal. Oh, well, hello. Get that headshot. Carcass is getting in my way. There we go. Yeah, his head gets popped off in like, what was that, 3 shots or something? 2 shots, actually. Even better. God bless the ballistic shield, right? Illuminate is more of the same, but falls off against the elevated. That's interesting. I would expect it to do better against elevated because they don't have medium helmets, right? So you can shoot them in the head. If you can land the headshot on these guys, I'm pretty sure it's just 2 bullets. I think their head is like 175 HP. And the closer you are to the work, yeah, the harder it hits, yeah. In general, I think with that update, SMGs pretty much all do their best work inside about 25 meters. Oh yeah, the Defender is the SMG of choice for the Sief as well. How cool is that? All right, I need to find a... I think maybe that... Those stalker layers over here. Let me get that out of here. I don't need them messing my day up. Look at that. See, he's using the Defender. Oh, no. Shoot the legs off. Shoot the face. A lot of people seem like they don't take advantage of the ability to shoot the legs off of bugs, especially bugs where it matters a lot, like the bile spewers. Because once you shoot off one or two of their legs, then they stop being able to use their spits and stuff like that. Like, you shoot one leg off, they can't use the mortar attack. Shoot two legs off, they can't use their puke attack anymore. So in a pinch, especially if you just can't get an angle on their head or their mouth or whatever, like, it's a really good option. Yeah, close range, you can easily, inside 15 meters, I think you can pretty consistently get a 2-tap against warriors. Okay, that's a... There we go. I hear the big guy coming, but I don't see him. All right, let's do one of these then.
Sending down equipment package.
Oh look, the Sief took out the stalker lair for me. How awesome is that? They do have their benefits. At max difficulty, I do feel that they kill you too much, but I can't argue with their benefits overall. I do hope they get a little bit of a tweak, though, so that they are not quite as prone to walking up behind you and killing you. Yeah, I do like them. The only thing I dislike is, just as an example, like a couple of days ago, and this has happened on numerous occasions at this point, the look at that. On numerous occasions, the Sief have kind of walked up beside me while doing something like either a Sief artillery loading or like a LiDAR station. And they kind of surround me, and then all of a sudden there will be an enemy like 50 meters away, and then they end up gunning me down with an MG43, and I'm like, brother, like, I can't be getting distracted by Sief when I'm trying to do an objective. If they're gonna, I don't like that aspect. Like, some folks seem to think that's like a skill issue, and I'm just like, I really don't think so. Like, sometimes. Hey there, Wisdom, how you doing today, buddy? Zaris, welcome. How you doing today? Let's see, what do you got? The crosshair always on option makes it firing easier. Might be worth using it. Yeah, that is a good choice. Like, I definitely agree it makes it easier. I just don't like it, so I don't do it. Like, if I were trying to be super optimal about stuff, then I would 100% agree with you. Alright, so these guys all go down pretty easily, as you would expect. You definitely... I need to get into another map, I think, though. I need to get into a countryside map so I can get longer sight lines and confirm the 2-tap distance and 3-tap distance and all that stuff. This is kind of nice. And I might need to drop this so I can use the Seif, you're killing me, Seif. Dang it. I knew that they were going to interfere with my testing conditions. I just knew it. That's all right. All right, let me go back. Let me get into a map that's in the daytime and in a countryside. Make this a little easier. Half of all Seif casualties are them shooting each other because another patrol spawned behind them. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. It's not as bad on the lower difficulties, but it does seem to happen a whole lot on D10. It was happening left and right on the Vote Snatchers. Give me daytime mission.
This world needs your righteous extermination.
Dealing with the fallout of a bureaucrat at TCQ who deceived me, my secretary, and my supervisor just to be a bully. We're big mad. That does sound like a pretty awful situation. I feel for you, Wisdom. I hope you're able to work that out. I'm not a stranger to those kinds of things happening, and it sucks. I'm gonna bring this orbital EMS as well, make this a little bit easier on myself. That looked like a bullseye. Oh. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Could have been a little bit more that way, but that wasn't too bad. Okay.
Sending down equipment package. Sending down support weapon. Sending down sentry.
You got the kind of chill that can only be earned by successfully dealing with the personality types. Yeah, dude. Yep. Some of those that I dealt with were professional settings. Some of them were family members and friends. It's just, it's real shitty when that happens. So I feel for you, buddy. Just realized you haven't used stun nades in ages. Well, you know, they are their own flavor, man. No, I don't want that. Well, I guess I'm getting it after all. Alright, what's... Is his head gone? No. Oh, now you're... Alright, you just stay there, big guy. Three shots at 38 meters. Alright. That's doable. So inside 15 for sure, the 2-tap. I just need to get a little bit. We're getting a little bit too many critters around us right now. Funnel them up this way, I think.
Deploying sentry. Deploying non-lethal payload.
You're too close. You're too close. 25. Alright, I think that was 3 shots at 25 meters. Man, they really do beeline for the things, the mortar sentries now, don't they? You bastards. Alright, so 38 meters was a 3-tap. Oh, I forgot my shield. Oops. Yeah. Oh, hey, how's it going, Krieg? Yeah, gas is a solid choice. I'm trying to get breakpoints right now, so I can't afford to deal damage.
Deploying non-lethal payload.
Ah, quit moving, you little shit. There's so many I can't see. Nah. I might need to get outside of this base red zone. I think that's part of my problem here. I got too much local heat. Let me go over here.
Sub-objective nearby.
Practically speaking, there's not really going to be a range at which you can't one-shot the little scavengers, so I'm not too worried about that, because they've only got like 60 HP in the first place. I gotta get out of this thing. Wow, look at you just creepy crawling right around there. That was sneaky. Yeah, I'll get up here on one of these POIs, and I think that'll probably make it a little bit easier for me to get find that exact breakpoint. It looks like it's somewhere between like 27 and 30 meters, though, before it shifts from a 2-tap to the head of a warrior to a 3-tap. Half your family's like that? That sucks, man. Most people got bored of stuns and got adapted to kill everything meta. Yeah, I mean, anytime, like, I agree with you 100%, because whenever I look at gameplay footage that the typical YouTube creators put out. Ah, shit. Give me a sec here. "28 meters. 1, 2, 3. All right, so 28 meters, 3-tap. So somewhere between 26 and 28 meters is when it changes.
Deploying sentry.
Do it! Do it now! Now we're talking. Where'd he go? I'm gonna try and get it 27 if I can. 1, 2, 3. Alright, 27. I think at 25 it was still a 2-tap. So between 25 and 27. You got too close, son of a bitch. You got injured already. I may have already injured him too. Dang it. This is kind of messing my testing up a little bit, honestly. I think I'm going to be better off with the orbital EMS. It deals that big old stagger, which is not what I want. If I can get into position fast enough. One. I missed. 2, 3. That might have been the same. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a better sight line here.
Deploying equipment package. Mission at 30 minutes.
And now I'm out of stuff. Oh look, it's an SEAF. All right. There's the orbital. This'll work. Let me kill this little asshole real quick. Where's a good sight line? I think I'll juke him around here. Come this way, my pretties.
Deploying non-lethal payload.
Now we're good. Now I got what I want. Alright, that was 3. Of course there's more of them. You sons of bitches. You're messing my testing up! Ah! And now there's a storm. Now I can't see. That's why I don't normally go on hot planets like this. Now I remember. See, it's been a couple of weeks since I did the testing, and now I remember. Because sandstorms are the devil when it comes to trying to test. Okay. Fucking Gotria didn't have any daytime missions, though. They get all high and hurt each other. Maybe use the reduced signature armor. Yeah, that could work out. That would help protect me from wandering patrols. The issue is that as soon as I start shooting or use a stun, it gets the attention anyway. Have I done any work with the Stalker yet? Not yet. I'm just getting started with the Defender, and then I'm gonna go top to bottom on the list. Let's see if I can find a better daytime map. I wish that they did a better job of ensuring there were always options on night and day. It's kind of annoying to me that it's not like that. And I don't want to use a city map. City maps are not good for this kind of testing because this has got too many trees.
Liberty calls for aid of
Definitely not that. Gloom is not good for visibility either. Yeah, so that's just like very frustrating. But I have to do at least difficulty 4 because Terminids specifically have different HP values below level 4, so I don't have much of a choice in that matter. Bots and squids, their HP values, as far as I know, don't change, so it's easier to do this kind of testing at lower difficulties.
A worthy choice.
Well, daytime enough, I guess I'll just have to deal. Okay, so the threshold, though, is right around... Is Hellmire open? I don't know, is it? I don't want to go there either. Because then I have fire tornadoes. You just want me to suffer, don't you, Naga? Put on the old supply pack. Hellmire was brutal. Yeah, it was fun, but it was brutal. I don't have any other dedicated, like, stun things, really. I guess. I mean, this, but that deals too much damage. This is okay, but every impact... This thing fires more frequent than it seems, and it's crazy how much it staggers the enemies, but... I'll get there. Let's see, EMS, and then... Yeah, when fire tornadoes would follow you. I remember that stuff, man. Bug HP changes at lower levels. Thought enemies' HP in this game is constant. Once you hit... It's only the Terminid factions. If I remember correctly, only the Terminid factions have slightly lower HP values and in some cases lower armor penetration values. Once you get to difficulty 4, everything is the same from there and above. But the automatons and the Illuminate, they don't have those changes. Yeah, I don't know why exactly. I mean, I guess it's because, you know, but there's always a large majority of players, or a significant number of players fighting on the bug front, and that's like what's showcased in the tutorial. So I guess Arrowhead really just wanted to like ease people into it, which I don't know. I mean, I get what they're going for, but I think it was unnecessary. I would like to see them just make it standardized across all difficulties. It would certainly make testing easier, because then you could go on difficulty 1 or 2 or 3 where there's not as many ads and like heavies if you don't need them. But it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, no, I don't really need any of these other ones, I guess, so... Call down the car, maybe. Oh, I could bring the Bastion tank and get some attention. They're not going to be able to destroy it. That might work. That might keep their attention more. I'll try that. That could work. Yeah. Yeah, they are easy at those. I mean, it's literally even, like, 1, 2, and 3 are the easy category, and then medium is 4, 5, and 6, and then hard is 7 and above. They even have like the differences in the mission, like the little label for the difficulty changes color at those thresholds, which is pretty cool. Alright, that's a giant nest. I don't want that, so maybe I'll kind of go down at this little intersection, and that might be a good spot. I hope. Oh man, this is the Bile variant. Do they have the same... They have the same head HP, don't they? Yeah, I feel you, Krieg. It would be real good. That's one of the things that makes it so much of a pain, right? I can't remember if these Bile Warriors have the same HP as... the regular strain. Let me check the old wiki. They got 150 to the head. Yeah, they're the same. The same headshot damage anyway. 325 main, 325 main. What about... okay. The ship. Let's see how this Seep guy does. Why would you run towards the melee enemy, bro? What are you doing? Wow, look at the tank. Look at that. That's a good delivery job right there, Pelican. Dude, yesterday I was playing a mission with the Gator, and whenever I was getting in position on like the extraction site thing, the dang thing flipped over 3 times and exploded. It was like just, I guess those little flower things or whatever were just enough to mess with the physics. Yeah, dude, it was like I was in one of those little rotating deals for like like a local farmer bingo night or something. It was crazy. Just kept flipping over. And then it blew up. With no notes yet. Alright, now will you guys just... oh no! They are not targeting the tank. Okay, so that didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to, but that's all right. All right, Seif, I need you to fuck off.
Their lives were in our hands.
All right, so still a 3-tap right at 25 meters. So it seemed, anyway. Come on, come on, come on. Can't tell on that one. This is why I don't like city maps, man. It's too claustrophobic. I can't see around me. And now there's always these damn Seif units messing things up. But anyway, the breakpoint is right at like 25 meters. Which is what I predicted. Because a lot of the stuff previously, whenever I was establishing my close range versus short, medium, long, and all that stuff, the reason I chose 25 meters is because I had already figured out, like, that's right where most of the damage thresholds for weapons, especially like SMGs and shotguns, that's where it starts to change the number of shots required. And it seems to be holding true here, so that's good. Finally, a country map. Daggone it. Sometimes my controller just like doesn't register the inputs on the D-pad. I don't know why this is. It's like across all of my controllers too. I think it's got. I feel like it's an issue with like input queuing that they have, where it just doesn't. It's kind of like Dark Souls sometimes, where it holds it. Like they've got the one where they changed the input queuing for the stem, right? And that introduced some issues with like map navigation using the D-pad, where you close your map and then you use a stem. And like I've been getting a lot of a lot of incorrect stem inputs after dialing stratagems and stuff like that. Like they didn't implement that new system in a good manner, in my opinion, at all. At least not for me on PlayStation 5 with my controller. Like it's very, very noticeably a broken system right now where you're getting incorrect stem inputs. So I'm disappointed about that, but hopefully they'll fix it soon. Because that's a big deal. I mean, wasting a stem, you only get 4 of those things by default. Like they need to fix it. Oh, you know what? I bet they'll focus on the Emancipator exosuit more. Maybe if I do that. I'll bring the breakthrough just for good measure. There it was again. It didn't change. Like, did you hear that double tap? There it is again. See, if I do multiple taps down and then left, it's not. It's like got a latency. There's clearly an input queuing issue there. It's very annoying. Oh well. Already, yeah. If an MGC would at least attempt to hold their fire when allies are between them and their target, people would forgive the team kills a lot more. Yeah. It just annoys me because they'll move up to me while I'm in the middle of something and then gun me down. It's like I've seen some people saying like it's a skill issue and you just need to not run into fire and pay attention or hit the deck. And it's like, brother, when you're at difficulty 10 against something like Boat Snatchers in the middle of a firefight and they roll up on you, like that is not your fault. Yeah, it happens in the FRV too. That's right, Naga. Somehow stemmed in a gator turret while my map was open for several seconds without closing the map on Sangay 23. Yeah, that's just, I mean, they just kind of goofed it. A few goofs here in some of these deals. Let's see. See if I can find a point of interest. I gotta remember, if I can find a point of interest, that'll make this testing a little bit easier because I can just approach them unnoticed. How you doing there, Wasted Pot? Thanks for stopping by. What armor passive do I run and why? It depends on what kind of gameplay I want. My usual is just medium armor with extra padding because I just kind of like that all-arounder feel. You know, you got medium speed, but you got heavy armor protection. And that's what I use the most, but it really depends. Like, if I want to lean into something specific, you know, I might use Siege Ready, I might use, you know, recoil reduction armor like Fortified or whatever. It just depends, you know, because you can modify how you want your gameplay to work so much. All right. I need warriors is what I need more than anything. Is that a warrior? You don't see me, bro. Of course, there's like a little bit of a ridge there. I can't get a good line of sight on that one. It's early in testing, but what's the current sense of what the SMG category excels at? I feel like shotguns do up close better and ARs do mid-range better. Yeah, I mean I think that's broadly correct. I think the benefit that SMGs and shotguns, I think, generally overlap. You want to use them inside about 25 meters. The difference, of course, is that shotguns are two-hand, like all shotguns are two-handed, right? Except for the secondary option, I guess. And so the difference maker is that you can use a ballistic shield with SMGs, except for the reprimand. So you can engage differently because you don't have the stagger unless you're using the pummeler, I think. So it's like the difference between like raw damage output versus some stagger crowd control, and of course something like the ballistic shield and being able to carry packages in one hand. So you can really customize how you want your short range combat to feel, right? So they're still going to excel inside about 25 meters, which so far, just based on the Defender testing, that's like the first major threshold is right around 25 meters. It goes from 2 shots to the head to 3 shots with the Defender against something like a Warrior Bug. So that's a pretty big difference to pay attention to.
Sending down sentry.
Don't you do it. Oh, man. Well, let's just see what we get, I guess. Let me just step on these guys. Caw-caw! Get out of my testing site. These bile bugs are not a really good seed either, because if I accidentally kill one of the small ones, then it can deal damage to the others, and then it's kind of ruins the testing. But we got what we got, so.
Firing non-lethal payload.
Can't tell if I'm hitting them in the mouth. If it was a mouth shot, their mouth is not light armor, is it? If it's light armor, it would be the... Wait, why am I dealing damage to its head? I thought those had medium armor. Did that get changed and I didn't notice? I'll have to double check that one. Yeah, I really don't want a bile seed. That's not really good for testing conditions. I'm going to try to get a different one. I might have to go to a different planet, I guess. I keep getting the same seed. Engineering kit is your go-to. I'm not sure why the EMS mortar sentry keeps stun. I thought it was supposed to stop firing at enemies that were already stunned, but that's not the case. It's just consistently doing it. I mean, maybe it's doing it just like slightly to overlap so they don't escape the stun. I would need to time it. Because it's I think it applies large stun, which is like 13 seconds or something, right? Isn't that right? Let me double check that bile spewer head HP real quick and armor pen. Oh shit. Okay, so I was using outdated info, I guess, or otherwise remembered it incorrectly. The green bile spewer has light penetration armor until you get to extreme difficulty. Extreme level 6 is whenever it gets upgraded to medium penetration. I didn't realize that. I thought that they all normalized at difficulty 4, but that's not true. Well, hot diggity. Look at that. When did that get changed? Long time ago, I guess. I don't actually see it in the patch notes, but I know that their mouth HP itself got changed back in October 2025. But I don't see anything about the threshold. Maybe it's been like that from the beginning and I just overlooked it or something. I guess that's possible. Huh. Good to know. Let's see. You think the SMGs are better for swarms of the fast, weak enemies, and shotguns are better for swarms of medium and elite enemies? I could see the case for that. Kind of depends on the enemy composition, I guess. And if you need stagger or not. Well, for Punisher shotguns anyway. And flinching has a little bit of everything. It is pretty nice, yeah. Extra capacity from Siege Ready. That is quite good. If you want to lean it, yeah, like if you want to lean into primary weapon gameplay, then for sure that's a strong option. My legs.
Deploying equipment package.
Feel like the SMG offers a lot of benefits for high mobility playstyles. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Sustained DPS, you can learn to move in one direction while shooting in another. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. Oh, these dudes are already here, huh? That squall. All right, I'm just gonna go around the map, I guess, and just kind of try and do some clearing, and hopefully I'll get some good sight lines. Make it easier to test. This is a nice neutral planet. That was all pouncers, so I think I might have what I need in terms of the seed. Oh, look at that. These SMGs support that brawler range? Yeah. Definitely your style of play. Oh no, they already see me. Shit, I wasn't paying attention.
Firing non-lethal payload. Sending down sentry.
Well, that's what I get for not paying attention, I guess. Let's see. That was at an angle, so I guess that would have been a deflection difference in damage. Still 3, so I'm just gonna say it's basically 25 meters. I mean, we're dancing all around right at about 25 meters where the number of shots starts to change. I don't want to spend too much time on this one gun like that. Plus or minus, let's say 2 meters, but it's basically 25 meters, I think, where your thresholds start to change against things like the what do you call it? The warriors. So Inside 25 meters, it's pretty much going to be a 2-shot. If you're head on, if you're off at if you're at an angle, that might change, because you do get some reduction when you're at angles. But I think we can call that pretty reliably 25 meters. Let's see. Other styles are probably better, but I always find myself having the most fun when you play up close with high mobility. Yeah, I mean, better is going to be relative in this game. It depends on the faction, the sub-faction, what's your team doing, like what's the actual mission, you know? Like, honestly, I think there's a place for it in most mission types, really. Like, it's just that when people look at things like tier lists, or they think in terms of tier lists, it's usually... Tier lists are usually designed to be able to engage in about 25 or 30 meters, I think, is what most people do. And so it's like, how well can this one gun kind of do like everything, or enable me to do everything in some way? But that's really just one way to approach the game, and I think it kind of misses out on a lot. Like, if you want to just like have fun, if you want to play with a group, coordinated versus uncoordinated, you know? And it's like, it's why I say, like, it's fun first and meta second. Like, you want to understand the meta, but you only want to understand the meta and incorporate meta knowledge for the purpose of having more fun. Like, if you look at the meta options and you think, oh, well, you know, this like small handful of gear is like the best, it's the most meta, it's like, it might only be meta by a couple percentage points, and then you're just locking yourself out of all these other fun ways to play, like you were saying, like fun. And if you're doing that, you're basically turning the game into a job, and now you're not letting yourself just have fun and play. Like, it's a game. Like, this isn't like some fucking competitive shooter where you're on Team Korea trying to win a championship. Like, it's chaotic fun. So, you know, that's just kind of how I tend to think about things. It's good to understand things, and I like doing that, obviously. It's why I'm testing it, but I do it more so I can understand and have more fun, you know? Let's see. That's why I enjoy the Stoker so much. Lots of utility and mobility. Yeah. If you recall correctly, that is the only enemy that changes by difficulty. There are a couple others, but it's only the Terminids that change their health pool. And apparently, like, warriors and hunters change at from 3 to 4, but then the Bilespewers change at difficulty 6, which I didn't realize earlier. Preach. I said, can I get a super amen? Okay, so let me make that note before I move on. I don't want to forget what I was doing. All right, so I'll go ahead and queue up, I guess.
This operation.
Yeah, okay, so the SMG 37 Defender. Let's see, breakpoint versus the Terminid Bile Warrior headshot is roughly 25 meters, after which it changes from a 2-shot head destruction into a 3-shot head destruction. Both initiate the bleed out. All right. So that's pretty much as expected. And then let's see. Yeah, I know a lot of people are frustrated with the Defender for bots since it deals 110 damage, which is technically enough to kill a Devastator head, but because of damage fall off, it can't at all. It's like, oh, yeah, I feel ya. That feels rough. Okay, let's see. Let's see, what would the math be on the body? Yeah, so warrior bugs at challenging and above, they have 325 main health. And their head goes from 110 to 150 as well. Oh yeah, that checks out. 20% durable. So we saw at about 25 meters, the Defender is a 2-shot at 20, inside 25 meters. So that would mean, oh wow, okay, so that means it drops down to roughly 75 damage per shot, effective damage, just before, like right inside of that 25 meter mark. Okay, so you're dealing about 75 damage per shot at 25 meters. And then it slips below that outside 25 meters. That's interesting. You get a break to eat your breakfast before lunchtime. Woo! And on meter reading day. Big money right there, Wisdom. Big money. Okay, so that's okay. I wonder if that's going to carry over, or how much that's going to carry over, or what would the threshold be? I guess we'll find out. That means the reprimand should be able to do it from maybe out to 30 meters, maybe even 35 for a 2-tap. Maybe even a little bit, maybe just a smidge farther, but this thing kicks a lot, so you'll have to really pace those shots. Let's see, 180. That's probably going to be more of a close range option if I had to guess. So will that one. Of course, the benefit of the pummeler is the stun. I wonder how much stun it takes to stun those dudes. I don't know what their thresholds are. Money, money, money. Good to know. Yeah, and warriors have that 20 stagger force, so I don't think any of the SMGs can stagger them. Okay. What about the Stoker? I would expect, if any. Nope, it's only got 15, so yeah, basically all the SMGs can just stagger things about the size of a hunter or smaller, but once you get to the warrior class, you need something a little bit bigger, like a marksman rifle. other than the diligence. The diligence also doesn't have enough. DeadSec, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm doing better. I the worst of the flare-up stuff has subsided, thankfully. I'm able to walk normally for the most part and things like that. So I'm very, very happy to be back to my normal, well, what's normal for me, you know. Thanks for asking. How you doing today? All right. So that's about as expected. And that's another meaningful difference too, right? Whenever we look at combat roles and how these things work, right? And I'm kind of curious what everybody else thinks about this too, right? So if you've spent any time thinking about this or you have any ideas, let me know. When it comes to like my whole combat role framework, which, you know, I'm always trying to tweak it. Like obviously with the defender, we saw that it like pretty perfectly matches 25 meters being like short range, right? Because that's when those headshot kills change from 2 to 3 for the warrior, and that should be consistent with most things from my previous testing and stuff. But the other one is like with the stagger force, like all of these have like 15 stagger force, maybe even less for some of them. I'm not sure. Without looking again. Let me double check on the. Yeah, some of them have a little bit less even. So that means that for chaff, and you can kind of, depending on how you want to like frame it, you can kind of look at like lesser chaff and greater chaff, and then like the elites, right? But I try to keep it simple. But for the smaller chaff, the lesser chaff, like pouncers and hunters, those have a lower threshold for stagger. So SMGs can stagger and interrupt things like hunters even in the middle of their jumping attack, but they cannot stagger or interrupt something like a warrior. So like that's a big difference. So if you're using the SMG to get like the absolute like most meta bang for your buck, you need to focus on, you can take advantage of stagger against the lesser chaff, but if you can't do that against things the size of a warrior and bigger, which is like, that's important, right? So you can't push anything back bigger than a hunter, which arguably is where the value of something like a ballistic shield would come into play, right? Because then you can still mow down warrior bugs and bigger a little bit, you know, fairly quickly, but you can't stagger them, you can't crowd control them at all. So you take advantage of the ballistic shield. So that's like really cool, like nuance to the game once you learn it, right? Shotguns, if it's Punisher style shotguns, they have all got at least 30 stagger force. So they can stagger basically any infantry unit, even up to like an alpha commander, right? Which is pretty freaking awesome, which is one of the things I like. That's how I like my shotguns generally. Whereas the Breaker family shotguns, they all have almost no stagger. I think like some of them have like 3 stagger force, which isn't, I think it's technically not enough to stagger anything. But they have like really high damage per second, right? So they still operate in the same range, like about inside 25 meters optimally, except for arguably with like some of the fire damage stuff, because you can rely on the burn. So it's just like their whole damage profile shifts from like less damage with high stagger versus like no stagger but high damage output, right? Last ingredient on your burrito label. A natural mode. Okay. Old, okay. Oh gosh. Stay strong, doing all right. Glad to hear that. What do you think about the update? All this cryptic shit, dude. It's been so fun. Like I really enjoy it overall. Seif could use some tweaks, but other than that, like I like the Dead Space games and a lot of zombie games and stuff like that. And this whole like Void thing, they're like, and reading the dispatches and everything, dude. It was so much like inspired by the Dead Space games. It cracks me up, and I absolutely love that. Like. It would have been really cool if we could have actually gotten to go inside of the DSS. You know, I figured that probably wasn't going to happen, but like a person can hope, you know. But just from the standpoint that these dispatches are kind of like little mini fan fictions, that are inspired by other franchises. I think it's been super cool. Depends on what you're pairing your weapons with. Yeah, 100% Naga. Spray and Pray was awesome against Wretches. Yeah, or the Incendiary Breaker. Yeah, I mean both of them. You know, at 240 damage per blast, it let you focus them down pretty effectively. Like you could spray into a Wretch, and it should be dead in 3 blasts on average with something like the standard Breaker Spray and Pray. And then, of course, if you use the Incendiary, you could just shoot them once, and they should burn to death within 1 to 2 seconds. It's just when things get hectic, it's hard to maintain that discipline, targeting discipline, right? But that's part of the fun, you know, that's meaningful skill expression, I think. And teamwork can really shine in that situation too. Helldivers 2 has some of the most realistic shotguns in gaming, but with way more staggering power than actual shotguns. Well, yeah, they've got a lot of cool, like, I think it's interesting that Arrowhead in the beginning, like they tried, their verbiage, the wording that they used was like realism, and then they kind of shifted to like believability, which I think is more accurate. And I know a lot of times people, especially back in those days and sometimes now, I guess, really like jumped on them, like jumped up their ass over that. And I can kind of see why, but I also feel like people who are jumping all over them and hounding them about like realism, you know, and like grunt fantasy and all this stuff, like if you're just getting all bent out of shape over that and you're being mad about the phrasing, like to me it says you're just looking for a reason to be mad, or you're just stupid. Because if you try to see what if you're trying to honestly understand what they're going for, and you look at all the themes and you look at all these different details, like dude, like they're based out of Sweden, right? Like English, like a lot of times, like just with they're not even necessarily speaking English as their first language, as far as I can tell. And even apart from that, like sometimes describing very complicated stuff can be hard, and you just like don't get a good job. But shifting to believability in the universe is a pretty good way to do it. And you're gonna write about what happened inside the DSS. All right, dude. But yeah, it's like, you know, realistically, like I can use a slug shotgun fairly accurately out to about like 50 meters. Like I'm growing up on the farm, we had chickens and stuff, and so we would have to protect the animals, the chickens and livestock against predators. And when I was a kid, I remember my dad he had a shotgun. It was actually a Model 97, which is the same model that the sweeper shotgun is based on in this game. Where's the shotguns? Yeah, like this is basically a Model 97. There's a few different variations of it in real life. And I still have one of these, actually. Mine has an external hammer. It doesn't have the bayonet and all the fluting, but because, you know. Yeah, I agree. They have so many really good creations of weapons and how they work and stuff. It's really, really cool. Technically speaking, you can slam fire any pump action shotgun. All you gotta do really is hold down the trigger while you pump the gun, and that's how you slam fire. But I understand that they did it for, you know, gameplay balance purposes, and you know, something like this gun is gonna be able to do it a little bit more smoothly. So you know, it's whatever. You gotta gamify some of the stuff, and that's cool with me. I still get annoyed sometimes with in first person view whenever you do the pump action animation with like the Punisher, and how it like makes your sight picture go all wonky. I'm like I've done run and gun competitions. I've done a lot of training. I was in the military and things like that. Like there's not quite that much like disruption of your aim when you're doing a pump action shotgun even quickly. So it bothers me because it disrupts to me, it's just extra disorienting. I don't like it, but you know, whatever. Minor complaint, I guess. I kind of fell off my train of thought, guys. I don't remember what I was talking about anymore. I think we were talking about realism and how it's really more believability and like, yeah, like if you want to nitpick and bitch and moan and complain, you can. You will always be able to find a way. But if you're trying to see what they're trying to make for us and how they want things to feel, like they're doing a pretty good job, and it's a lot of fun. And people would get hung up on like realism, like, oh, realism when it hurts us and not whatever. It's like, dude, like these guys, like every Helldiver is basically like a peak physical condition dude, like being able to lug around all this stuff, and somehow magically you grab any ammo box and it will refill any weapon that you're bringing with you. And you want to complain that the realism is one-sided, like get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? All right, well, let's move on to, I'm gonna just start going down the list, I think, from here, because I feel pretty good about that first one. I want to get the Terminated stuff done, and then I'll do each other faction later, because I don't want to get too caught out on any particular one. Get my supply pack. New trailer at Gamescom? I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It seems like this was a pretty beefy arc. I wouldn't be surprised if we have at least like a week or something in between the next major like deal. It seems like Arrowhead oftentimes will launch something new like this, kind of let everybody like jump in and then have like a little bit of a breather, and then they push the next section out. So, but we could. I mean, you never know. I would be all right with that. Would I be okay with that? This testing is gonna take a while. I could honestly use a little bit of a narrative break so I can try and get this done. Because I like to play it too. I have to be careful not to like get lost in all the testing and all that kind of stuff, because then then I'll find myself all of a sudden, I'll be like, damn, I haven't played the game for fun in like a week, and then I start to get burnt out, you know, so I gotta be careful too. I really enjoyed the Vote Snatchers introduction though. Like I had a lot of fun playing that. Like I didn't do much, like I didn't do very much testing other than finding kind of like some breakpoints and stuff like that for the new enemies. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to we're moving on to the night next. So you took a full-grown boar down at 90+ yards with a semi-auto 8-gauge one time. It took every shot I had. Yeah, boars are tough, dude. That's a long shot. That's a good shot though. Yeah, the knight is up next there, DeadSec. Yeah, boars are very tanky. In Texas, in San Antonio, Texas, I believe, when I was stationed down there. All right, there's got to be a spore spewer around here somewhere, right? Boars are considered a pest down in that area of the country, and so you can pay, like, back then you could pay $1,200 to go flying in in a helicopter and hunt boars with a high-powered rifle. They are tough, and they will kill you. Absolutely will kill you. They'll just trample you to death or gore you or whatever. Not to be trifled with. I'm gonna guess that it's over there. Well, this looks like a nice seed, at least. I just need to clear the airways. There it is. Look at that. So much better. Got some attention. This might be good. Alright, so close range. 1, 2, 3. 3 shots with the knight. Ooh. One, two, three. Ah! 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. 3 bursts. That was 9 shots. Take the head off of that guy. He flung those dudes to the side. Did you see that? Oh, it wasn't close enough. That's too bad. All my stuff's gonna get blown up while I'm doing this. All right, let's see how we do it. About 25. Ah. Stay. Ah. I really am sometimes frustrated by the way that these guys get stunned and then they start waggling around so damn much. Hard to tap fire this thing with 1380 RPM.
Firing non-lethal payload.
See how they keep wiggling around so much? I hate that. Fuck you, I'm testing shit. Testing is such a bitch and a half sometimes, man. I forgot how many shots that guy did. Alright, I'm too close to this. My suit got blown up. I need random patrols and POIs is what I need. I'm gonna have to just switch to that because this is getting annoying. Okay, what was that? So inside 25 meters, it was 9 bullets to pop the head off of an Alpha Commander, right? Is that what I saw? Or that was a Brood Commander because it's difficulty 4. Looks like a POI over here. Yeah, hopefully no nursing spewers. Well, I tore up that exosuit. Of course, there were a bunch of bigger guys there, I guess, like alphas and stuff. Might be a little too much attention there. Look at me, big guy. Oh my god, stop moving. I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 shots. About 11 shots on that one. Some of those I think were off angles though, so that might be why. 3 shots. Whew. You motherfucker. Now, of course, I get... God damn it. Look at how much of a mess this testing is being. One of those was left over, so about 9 shots inside close range, I guess.
Deploying non-lethal payload.
That was about 11, so 25 plus, about 11 shots, I guess, more consistently. Kind of hard to tell. I'm getting... getting a lot of attention here, too. That's a problem. Fuck you, little pouncer. Look at how nice that is to just jog around and tap fire against those little shits. I don't want any. I don't want any. Alright, I need to get... Well, first I need to kill these guys, and then... go find a quiet spot to pick this back up. You're already injured, so you're of no use to me. Okay. Looks like there's a POI over here. Wild pigs, invasive? Yeah, they are. They are horrible. And almost lost an entire herd of cattle because the pigs ruined the water pond. Oh, yeah, dude, that would suck. It's the democratic concussion. It makes them all loopy. 9 shots for a brood commander. Yeah, that was... And that was inside 25 meters, right? Did EMS strike not stun wretches at all? Let me think. Wretches, I believe they did get stunned by the EMS strike. They just take a lot to stun in general because they have a stun buildup threshold of 20. So the biggest things like EMS were able to do it, but your usual stun weaponry did not. You know, because, well, they could, but you had to put a lot of bullets into them from something like the pacifier. Because of that, because the pacifier and the pummeler deal 2 points of stun buildup per shot. All right, what do we got over here? "45 meters. I'll take it.
Firing non-lethal payload.
Nice. It's just so dark I can't see his head. Is he even facing me now? Okay, I'm gonna have to get to a new daylight one. This one's getting dark on me. So now you guys can see why sometimes this testing takes a long time, because there's all this stuff you gotta deal with. Which, you know.
Let us blend together.
Yeah, now that's in the dark. Actually, let me put on the 1.5x optic. That'll make it a little bit easier for those particular things. I don't think I need the 2x though. Well, I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, I'll just do that. That'll be fine. Yeah, stun is much less effective against wretches because dead space. You could do it, but with most conventional weaponry, they would just be dead before the stun ever affected them. You had to use really big stuff. Which was a really, really nice touch, because the wretches are, like in Dead Space, the necromorphs are basically like just straight up dead, mutated bodies. Like they weren't alive in any kind of conventional sense. Like that's why you had to destroy, basically you had to destroy all their limbs and just like absolutely turn them into paste so that they were functionally unable to do anything at all, because like the space magic, the evil space magic in that game or whatever was controlling them with like some weird voodoo bullshit, basically. I wish I had a more dedicated like stun option. Am I forgetting a more dedicated stun option than stun grenades and EMS and stuff that doesn't kill things? What about secondaries? Am I forgetting anything? These all deal damage. That deals damage. Yeah, these all deal damage, so yeah, okay. And then these all deal damage too, right? Well, I have to test this anyway, so that's not really an issue. True Grit is awesome. Now I can use low ergo weapons like Live Concussive, Variable Hyena with ease, yeah. Yeah, it's really nice because now you've got a couple of options to choose from with those armor passives, DedSec. Let's see. True Grit gives you the 30% reload speed to support weapons, and then it gives a flat plus 20 points of ergonomics to all of your weapons.
The fate of all humanity's children are in your hands. Do not let them fall.
Sending down equipment package.
And then Peak Physique is 40% increased melee damage and a flat plus 30 points of ergonomics to your weapons. Right, so you can kind of choose, would you rather have like a good 20-point increase to all your ergo while focusing mostly on your support weapon with True Grit, which I think a lot of people are going to really like that, because most people really, I mean, let's face it, like using your support weapon that much more effectively is a lot of fun, you know. But then Peak Physique, it does give you about 50% more ergonomics for all your guns, which is a big deal. But then if you want to be melee and really beat the shit out of stuff, you also combine it with a that 40% bonus damage to melees. And now you've got a really cool, like, overlapping but distinct use cases for those armors, you know what I'm saying? Where is a POI? There's a POI over here. No! Shut up! Oh, god damn it. Fucking A, man. Let me just double check since I'm already here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You motherfucker! Five. Well, now I'm out of range. Son of a bitch. 3 shots. Yeah, pretty consistently 3 shots for the heads of the warriors still inside those closer ranges. I think I still need to check the maximum range, right? Isn't that what I was doing? I already kind of forgot how many shots I put on this guy, so I'm just going to kill him. Of course, there's a goddamn mushroom in my way. I want you at about 25 meters, big guy. 2, 3. All right, still, I'm pretty sure that 1 shot missed. Kill some of these little shits. Make sure I'm not getting too much other attention here. Come on, damn it. I think I missed. There's so many. I'm getting random patrols and shit now, too. This is why I really hate that they don't standardize the enemy damages across all difficulties, because I have to go on difficulty 4, and trying to get precise testing like this takes fucking forever sometimes because spawns and patrols, there's just too many of them. So you see me having to keep on retreating and do all this shit so I can get precise testing. So it takes a lot of time. Let's go this way. Start taking out some of these douchebags. Interestingly, this time they're not focusing down the oh, that guy's focusing my sentry. Yeah, okay. Alright, I need that 25-meter shot against the warrior. Oh yeah, if it's close enough, it climb the fucking rock, dude. Wear me out, dude. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Why are you moving so much? You're fucking stunned! Times like these make me question if stun is even fucking working. There's a good example of how melee hitbox needs to be fucking improved. Like, how am I missing? They're all around me. Give me some fucking slack, Arrowhead. I'm not gonna miss a punch that close a range. You need to fucking make the standard melee hitbox more generous. It's not like I'm doing a shit ton of damage by hitting them with the butt of my gun. Okay. I'm gonna adjust my loadout a little bit so I can kill more things more quickly whenever shit gets weird like that. Oh, God. Rational Baz, how you doing, dude? Why y'all hide rad from me for so long? Need this level info. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I like the overall balance in the game too. It's only whenever I'm trying to do precise testing like this that I really get annoyed. You know, because I'm like, oh, just the. Let me think. Actually, it's almost 12:30 my time. Let me take a quick break, fellas, so I can get a little food in me. I'll be back in like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something.
Every system will soon exult in the glory of managed democracy.
All right, I put some food and stuff on it, set on alarm. I have to go get it here when it's done cooking. Their Twitter post, huh? Liberating voteless? Let me see. Let's see, they're advertising the new merch. Helldivers 2. They may be lost, but the fight for freedom will go on. Okay. Let's see. Liberate me. Oh, God. Help liberate the voteless from their sinister existence. Issued by the Ministry of Truth. Thank you for your undivided attention. Event Horizon reference. All right. Very interesting. Ah, man, the satire in this stuff is so funny, dude. I love it. All right. Let's see here. All right, so let me make my note here again.
Greetings, Helldiver. The galactic war awaits.
I guess I didn't actually look at the difference it made with the Defender against the Alpha Commander. I'll have to remedy that. I forgot. All right, so MP98 Knight. Inside 25 meters or so was a 9-shot kill versus the Alpha Commander. No, Brood Commander. And it was also 3 shots to the head of the Warriors, right? Yeah. Any other daytime? Yeah. Guess I don't really need that Emancipator. I'm not really getting any mileage out of that, so I think I'll bring a support weapon that'll let me put things down a little bit more. Which I'll just do this. That'll make it easy to shred through.
Let them come.
Brood Commander.
Let them face the insurmountable might of the Helldivers.
Okay. Let's find a POI. Looks like there might be one over here. Ugh, okay.
Firing non-lethal payload.
1, 2, 3. Oh, it's still a 3-tap, even out at 32 meters. Hot damn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, side shot. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it holds a 3-tap out pretty far. It's just always a 3-tap. You can't get it to 2 like the other one. That's a good thing to note. Alright. Wonder how far out I have to be before that changes. Maybe 40 meters. There, we're talking. Oh, this guy's still alive.
Firing non-lethal payload.
Where's he at? Come on. Okay, that was still like 35 meters, and that was a 3-tap, so that's good to know. Alright, so correction to that. Correction to Knight versus Warrior. Destruction was 3 shots out to 35 meters. Haven't found the outer limit yet. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool, though. 3 shots out to at least 35 meters, so I'm going to have to push that out a little farther. Here comes another crowd. That's a charger. I don't really want to deal with him right now. Let me get up to that POI. That should make it... I should be able to line up like a 40-meter shot pretty easily. So it takes more bullets. It takes 50% more shots than the Defender with something like the Knight at 90 damage per shot. It can hold that out farther than the Defender, but at closer ranges it doesn't benefit other than just like damage per second. So that's a pretty cool trade-off. Alright, I'm gonna have to try and kill this guy without getting any attention. If I can. It's getting dark again already, man. Come on. And he moved in behind the damn box. That'll do. I just need to get him to turn around. Maybe I better wait. Fuck it. Come on, big guy. I need you to look at me. Dude. This guy really not cooperating. 1, 2, 3. Still a 3-tap at 40 meters, okay. Still a 3-tap headshot destruction. 40 meters. With Knight versus Warrior. That's impressive. I didn't expect that. Let's try 45 meters next, I guess. Guess I can pick this up. I don't need that. Alright. Another POI would be Super Duper. What's over there? One thing about testing is that it is kind of relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Alright, good. I should be able to get out to 45 meters with this guy. There's 2 of them. $37. That's pretty good. 46. 1, 2. Did it say? Okay. 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if I missed one of those shots, but that was 5. We'll say tentatively 5. There's 48. Let me clip that. I might have to review that. There's 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4, maybe 5 shots. It might depend a little bit on angle of deflection. He might have moved a little bit closer, but we'll say 4 to 5 shots at 45 meters. Still 3 shots at 40 meters, so somewhere between 40 and 45 meters, it changes from a 3 shot to a 4 or 5 shot. In the interest of time, I don't think I'm gonna try and find the exact breakpoint because I don't feel like it's that critical. Most of the time, you're probably not going to be using these SMGs at that distance anyway, but it's good to know. Okay, now if I can get this... Well, it's probably going to be a similar breakpoint for the Brood Commander. Most of these differences carry over. It's just a matter of scale. Well, let's see if I can... Since I have him here, may as well. I just need to get to where I can see his head. Getting a bitrate issue on my stream, huh? That's no good. All right. 45 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Still an 11 shot. Okay. 11 shots. All right. MP98 Knight versus Brood Commander at 45 meters was a 11 shot requirement to destroy the head. That's impressive. Dead 6 says, I forgot Alpha Commander spawn on Diff 8. I was fighting Brood Commanders all this time. Usually play D6 and crank it up a little bit. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that, man. But it is it is something to be aware of. Let's see. Because they are a little bit tougher. Let's see, what exactly is the difference? I forget. God damn it. Offhand. Brood Commanders. Yeah, they're all light armor, 800 main health, and their head has got 200 health. Alpha commanders are also all light armor. They just have a little bit more health. They've got 1,000 main HP, and their head has 250 HP instead of 200. So, you know. And they're slightly more durable as well with the damage distribution. But yeah, I mean, that's a meaningful enough difference whenever you're dealing with a swarm, right? That's an extra shot. You know, that's at least one extra bullet for headshot kills, you know, on average. So, depending on the gun, like for example, well, in this case, I guess this 45-meter breakpoint, that would be one more bullet probably at 45 meters, and then inside closer ranges, let's see, it was 9 shots in an ideal range to break the head off. So, I mean, that would be at least one more shot. So, I mean, you're looking at around a 10% approximately difference. And over the course of an entire mission, like a 10% change in how many bullets it takes to kill something, like that's a big deal, you know? So, there's little bitty differences like that that really add up and make the game very a lot more robust and complex than people realize. You know, if all you really ever do is just kind of pick guns that let you keep running forward and shooting into things, you're probably never going to notice those differences. And so whenever you rank things and consider, you know, how good something is, like you just miss a lot of nuance, and that's understandable. You know, it's not like I'm judging anybody for that if that's how you want to play. But what I would stand in judgment about is if you say X, Y, or Z weapon sucks, but you never take the time to learn all the different details, you know? That's not fair to the game or the developers or the guns or anything. Okay. My food should be ready, so I'm gonna take myself a little break, get my food in me and all that good stuff, and then I'll be back. So I'm just gonna stop the stream for right now, and while I get lunch, and then I'll see all you lovely Helldivers here in probably about an hour. Thanks for stopping by, everybody, and for your help, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.